Hey, Dollar Bill. That pizza was terrible. I was starving too. You know, Jets was closed and everywhere's closed now. If you don't get something to eat by 8 o'clock on a Sunday, you're screwed. So I saw that Domino's was open. I didn't have one at all. Just terrible taste. Even Daisy wouldn't eat it. She only ate the pepperoni. It just tasted crappy. Not like old or anything, just like super cheap ingredients. Like, it didn't even taste like cheese. They had a special where you got 3 items, so I got double cheese and pepperoni. Just terrible. It tasted like the worst frozen pizza on sale you've ever had in your life. I couldn't eat it. It was that bad, and I was starving. Just a crappy tasting pizza. How you doing?
Good, how are you?
It's gonna be hot today, no?
I know.
92. Gonna be another burner today, 92. Hey Stephanie, how you doing? I've actually thought of moving down here, to be honest with you. I love this park so much. It sounds crazy it'd move someplace because of a park, but it's just not an average park. And I could ride my bike, take Daisy here every day. But I like where I live too. So it'd have to take some deal breaker either way. Yeah, she's a great dog, Daisy. I got like the world's slowest internet connection at the hotel. Sure enough, it took all night to upload those plane photos, and that's just photos. It's not 4K video. And I have one uploading now of Gary, the guy that Becky's friends with in Ann Arbor. We'll see how long some video takes to upload, but probably forever. They better not be going in there stealing all the plants. I think that'd be pretty cool to have your yard landscaped with natural stuff. No, I didn't see your emails yet. I mean, I'll look at them today. I don't want to sound like it's any big deal or anything that's uploaded. I get an email. Like 1,000 emails about starting another Gmail just for like questions. Hey Mark, how you doing? I don't like this hot weather. You know, when I was growing up, we'd get like maybe a 90-degree day at the end of August every 10 years. Shit, it's been 90 a bunch of times this year, all summer long. Yeah, Verizon service has been terrible. Oh, okay. You can ask me right now if you want. Look at this guy running. People don't realize how hard it is on your body to run on a hot, humid day. It's not good. It's not healthy at all. There's a guy out there cutting grass. You know, it's the first time I've ever seen him cutting grass here. I always wonder when they do it. He must be running behind. Ready to party, hon? Ready to party? It is a hot one, I'll tell you that. So I'll take her, let her run around. I'm gonna drop her off at the hotel room. I'm gonna try and I talked to Miranda yesterday. I'm gonna hook up with her today. I still, for being here a week tomorrow, I still haven't gotten that much done. I mean, but I might stay 2 weeks, believe it or not. Isn't that crazy? Hang on, when I get up here where I can see this screen, I'll answer your question, Catherine. Daisy's hair grows so fast, I gotta trim her down again when I get home. Run around, hon. Run around, enjoy yourself, hon. I think they're shutting the dam down in Belleville because there is no way in hell. They did this the other day. Look how low this water is now. There's no way it should be this different in one day. I'd be bitching up a storm if I lived this far down. I mean, you couldn't even hardly tube here. Not yesterday, but the day before. So that's what they're doing. They're holding the water up there in Belleville, I'll bet you. Chop your hair off. Run around, have fun, hon. Have fun. Would I like to have the painted canvas? Yeah, that'd be cool. I'll pay you for it. What are you talking about, Tom? Yeah, I'm going to get out around the East Coast. I'm going to go west, though, first. I'm going to head out to Montana, I think. That's if these travel restrictions are taken away. I'm going to cut up to the Dakotas. I like the Great Plains in the fall when they're harvesting crops up around the Canadian border, North Dakota. Head all the way out to Montana, cut back down through Nebraska. Oh, sorry about that, Jules. Oh, you should take a day off today. Yeah, I've been everywhere out there. I love it. Hey, Rita. Thank you. No, no tent yet. No, I found her a place to live. Oh, using my YouTube name? Yeah, there's really nothing you can do about that. You know, YouTube is You know, their computers recognize negative and positive comments, and the more controversy, the better. Oh, thank you, Kat. I'm gonna owe you one. So I think today I got my batteries all charged up. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna see how hot. I mean, I know it's gonna be a hot day today. I think what I'll do is drop Daisy off the hotel, and then I might go to Barnes and Noble for a little bit. Oh, thank you, Michelle. Yeah, I'd like to visit you out there. Yeah, Becky's in Detroit. Yeah, she's in Detroit. Yep. Yep. She's always been living down there. Yep. I'll come visit you, Michelle. Hey, Detroit. Carol, how are you doing? Hey, Spelling Bee. Hey, Muse. No, that pizza was terrible. I'm gonna give it to some animals. I was starving too. That shows you how bad it is. I threw a piece on the floor to Daisy. She wouldn't eat it. Just ate the pepperoni. Hey, JP. You relaxing today, hon? You taking it easy? Good girl? Daisy girl, you taking it easy, hon? Yeah, she's smart. Better believe it. Sat right down in the shade. It was really a lot of fun with Marguerite and her daughter yesterday. Marguerite's daughter's got a pass to this park too. You know, there's a series of them down here. She goes to Lower Huron. I told her to come over here. It's nicer. Yeah, is it really, Michelle? What city do you live in out there, Michelle? I probably would read. I don't, you know, I give her a lot of people food. I have like the premium dog food at home, but she's so spoiled. Uh, Probably would. Oh, you live in Rochester too? You know, I was supposed to go to Rochester about a month ago to visit Davy, but then they had those travel restrictions, and then they were rioting down in Rochester, so it never happened. But do you know Davy that comes on the chat a lot? She lives right there in Rochester. Well, there's a couple guys at the hotel that have pit bulls that are just gorgeous pit bulls. These big giant ones, like 100 pounds. They're mixed with probably bull mastiffs. Sweet dogs. Really pretty. Yeah, she lives right there in Rochester, Davy. Yep. Oh, Buffalo. Yeah, last time I went through Buffalo was about 5 years ago. I thought I was in Pakistan when I went to Niagara Falls. As you probably know, the Canadian side's so much prettier, I think. Yeah, okay, yeah. I'll get out there and visit you, Michelle. Oh, did you really? Oh, no kidding, Detroit Carol. Oh, sorry about that. Take a picture of the tulips. Yeah, if you're looking for a back surgeon in a different state, you tell me what city and state you're looking for. I'll do it for you. You know, there's a lot of things to different certifications. Board certification, to me, is the beginning. So there are specialties in back surgery, eye surgery, whatever, There are different associations you can belong to, and you can only do it by having X number of surgeries, whatever. But if you're thinking of a back surgeon in a state, in a city, let me know where it's at. I'll do it for you. It'd be easier than me to tell you how to do it, but I'll figure out who a good one is. It goes well beyond like Google reviews and that kind of thing. You really got to get in there and check like ratings amongst peers and lawsuits and everything else. The lawsuits don't necessarily mean it's a bad doctor, but it could be. So you just have to do due diligence. You just stack the cards in your favor as good as you can. Oh, thank you, Kat. No, I'm definitely been like this, yeah. Yeah, I was thinking that last night laying in bed, actually, man. I mean, I think I've had a good life, a lot of ways. I'm lucky I'm able to do this YouTube stuff, tell you that. I could have some shit job and a miserable wife that spent all our money on shopping. Oh, Daisy is a great traveling companion. Daisy, you are a good traveling companion, hon. You good girl, honey. Daisy, you good girl, hon. Yeah, that's a good girl, hon. Yeah, no problem. I mean, back surgery's come so far, even in my lifetime. Microdiscectomies and all sorts of minimally invasive procedures, spinal stenosis. Even fusions are so far down the road now. Erica, a lady that comes on here, she got her surgery the 4th. I'm curious how she's doing. Hey, Adrian. No, that's exactly right, Tom. That's so true. Yeah. I think it's better than 50-50. If it was 50-50, I wouldn't do it. Yeah, once in a while. I mean, Daisy is a smart dog. I know everybody thinks their dog's the smartest dog in the world. And I think she knows she'd get her ass warmed if she bit somebody, but she'd like to sometimes. She tried to nip Gerald yesterday. She tried to nip Tassie a couple trips ago. Oh, sorry about that, Amber. Hey, Blue Malibu. Hey, Robinson. E. Robinson, how you doing? I've really been, this winter, I'm really going to catch up on my reading, and I've been looking for a new video camera, kind of half-assed. I don't really like this camera I have. I like everything about it but the night capabilities. I think it sucks in low-level light. Everything else, great. But I like recording airplanes and dark-lit alleys and that kind of thing. And it sucks. Yeah, you would know Davey. She's on here. Cute, blonde, young girl, 21 or so. She's a moderator on here, but she lives right there in Rochester. She's thinking of coming out here too. No, I have not really get robbed. I had an incident happen with Sharon a couple days ago. Here's the truth of the matter on this. And that's why I'm kind of changing my delivery habits, because I don't want to draw too much attention to where I'm at for too long. And I know a lot of people, like, I'll give you an example, Southwest Detroit. All these young kids now are carrying guns. And they will shoot you in a heartbeat for this, the stupidest shit in the world. And that's kind of what was looking like was going to happen the other day with Sharon. So I'm spending too much time doing thank you videos, handing things out. I don't want to be in a bad neighborhood for 40 minutes. I want to be there for 10 minutes, get an interview, and get the hell out of there. By the time they figure out what happened, I'm long gone. I want to keep it that way. I thought I was going to get robbed down on Burner Highway about a year ago. Like just like back surgery, I set the cards up as good as I can. I always have an escape. Even when I wear my Bigfoot outfit up in Michigan, where I run across the expressway about one time a year, even if somebody had a gun, you're not going to get me. I'm always where I'm going to get the hell out of the way. Even if you pull over in your car, you're not going to get a bead on me and be able to catch up to me. I'll be long gone. So I've always got in the back of my mind, an escape plan. And I, like I said, I stack the cards the best I can, considering the circumstances. Yeah, that's exactly it, Julie. I mean, I know it could happen just by virtue of anywhere, anytime, anywhere in the world, I'd presume, where there's high unemployment, high drug activity, and this COVID thing hasn't helped. People are pissed the hell off. It's disrupted their lifestyle. You got a chance of getting capped. Oh, really, Michelle? Wow. What type work do you do, Michelle? Oh, I don't doubt that at all, Blue Malibu. That's exactly true. You know. I mean, there's places in Detroit. I mean, if you're not familiar with the places I go, you're gonna think I'm crazy and it's dangerous. It's really not that bad where I go. But there are places like on the east side of Detroit and the north central side of Detroit, or like over around Herman Kiefer Hospital. There ain't no way in hell you're catching me there when the sun goes down. Not happening. I try to at least go to a place where someone could hear me scream. That's the first thing. And the second thing, give a shit about it. Oh, really, Julie? No kidding, huh? Oh, cool, Michelle. Good. Nah, Cass Corder's dead. I mean, I'm an open book. I tell people all the time, uh, I tell you like it is, man. If I fuck up or I got a skeleton in my closet, I tell you about it. I don't want any surprises. And the reason I'm mentioning this is like Cass Corder, when I was young, like 18, 19, you could drink back then. And my dad was a drunk, kind of a strange guy, and he was always telling me where the horror houses were in Detroit. And there were two famous bars. The Willis Show Bar is still there. It's reopened. I'm not sure what they've done with it. There were two famous bars that catered themselves to prostitution. The Willis Show Bar and Anderson's Gardens. And they were in Cass Corder, right there on Willis and 3rd. And I had buddies of mine, and probably from the time we were 18 to 20, we'd go up there and get blowjobs all the time. We'd drive up from the suburbs, and there was some kind of rule they had in Detroit, in Anderson's Gardens, where you had to have live entertainment to have girls hanging around. There was something connected to these bands, and they'd always have these jazz bands playing in there. We didn't give a shit about it. And I can remember going there and spending New Year's Eve there one night. We had a hell of a good time. And then, as time went on and, things went south and they ended up cracking down on that kind of stuff. And I go by there once in a while. I've taken some photos, and like I said, the Willis Show Bar's open back up. But to answer your question on Cass Corder, not anymore. That place has pretty much been gentrified, and it's not like at all like it was when I was younger. So I don't go by there. It's a lot of traffic, no place to park, all a bunch of new stuff. It's boring and it sucks. Yeah, that's exactly when it happened. Yeah, that's when it happened with Sharon at that park. Yep. Yeah, well, Detroit, I hate to say this to you, but, I'm all for Detroit doing well and making a comeback, but times have changed. It's a world-class economy now. Nobody's depending on Detroit like they used to. Everybody's making cars. Everybody's caught up to farming and wheat and corn and soybeans and all that shit that we used to have other countries by the balls. And our labor rate is so high, you're seeing the middle class disappear because no one can afford to pay a guy working on the line $65 an hour now with double time. So it's a changing environment. You know, the times have changed. And, you know, we're used to a standard. I caught the end of the good old days. We're used to a standard of living that our parents had. If you're a baby boomer like me, you know, you bought a house for 15 grand, and when you retired and you decided to move up north, it was worth 250 grand. Those days are over. And if you look at inflation and you couple that with the current rate for like jobs, you'll really understand why the middle class is falling apart. These municipalities can't fund, you know, their fire departments and police departments like they used to be. I mean, there are always going to be these areas that do well, like Ann Arbor and Petoskey and Traverse City, but that's not reality. I'm talking about the everyday, typical middle-class person. So basically, it's the standard of living of what we're used to has changed, and it's very apparent. These municipalities can't fix these roads. They're driving around in fire trucks with bald tires. You got police departments like where I'm at now, here in Township, sitting out all day, every day, 24/7 writing tickets. Why? Because that tax revenue isn't there anymore, and tickets are a source of income. Where I live in Ogama County, that is one of the main sources of income to the county coffers, writing speeding tickets. Now, what's hurt that area is when they up the speed limit to 75 miles an hour. You know, you're not really pulling people over until they're doing 85. So that kind of affected their income, because there's people that don't mind doing 5 over, but there's plenty of people that they're not going to go 85 even if they're not going to get pulled over. So it's really hit them in the pocketbooks. But down here, like where I'm at, I think that could have had something to do with that bullshit ticket I got with Daisy on my lap. And that is, it's income earning now. When you see someone that's violating a civil infraction or a misdemeanor, we need this money, you cite them for it. You know, the days of getting warned when you're pulled over by a cop are pretty much over. Yeah, the haters, I mean, the haters just kind of come along with having a channel. I mean, you know, I talk a lot of shit. I mean, you'd think I'm a really good guy if we get along, but I'm not such a really good guy if we don't get along. So I kind of probably bring some of that on my own, and I probably could do much better at being softer when I don't like somebody or I think they're leaving a rude comment about the girls. I'm kind of like crude sometimes and hot-headed, and rather than tell them to get the fuck out of here and don't come back, I probably should be a little more diplomatic. So most of the haters, they've either been moderators that I wasn't interested in a relationship, or people that wanted to collaborate, or people that wanted me to interview them, and honestly, I just wasn't interested. You know, there's some people, and I can't really articulate this properly, there are some people that you could take 2 women that were cute, and they were both heroin addicts, and they were both working girls, and they both had the same story, and I could talk to them after a minute or two. And one I'd want to interview so bad, it would seem so compelling and interesting to me, and the other one I just get bad vibes from. Look, it's not scientific. I'm sure I'm wrong plenty of the times, but you kind of got to go with what you feel at the time. And there are people that I run into all the time that I just don't feel like interviewing. I don't know. It's just, I don't. It just seems boring. And I'm sure I've missed plenty of good interviews because of that. But, you know, you know how it is. It's just like dating or getting a vibe during an interview in a job, or new neighbors moving in or whatever. Speaking of that, my neighbor sold her condo, the one next to me with the kids, and I love my neighbors, all of them, every bit of them. And now some new guy is moving in, so I'm hoping he's not a neo-Nazi that loves fireworks. Yeah, I mean, I can be a big asshole. Believe me, man. I mean, it's no secret that if I didn't have a YouTube channel, and I met some of these women that are friendly on my channel in a bar or on the street, or if I was out here walking Daisy, they wouldn't give me the damn time of day. Don't you think I don't know that? Look, I'm an older guy, not that great looking. And in the real world, I wouldn't have much to offer. So when people see people get friendly on these chats and, send me presents, it's not reality. As I've said all along, there's a protocol in getting to know somebody, and I like to keep it within the normal range. So when someone comes on too strong because they see I have a YouTube channel, my radar goes off big time. But I love the idea of it, believe me. There'd be nothing better than two twin, big-boobed, blue-eyed, blonde playmates that want to give me back rubs after a long day on the road. But it's not reality. And anybody that offered that, my radar would be on so big I would probably not even meet up with them. So once you get outside of that protocol of meeting someone or being interested, it gives me the chills. I don't want to mess with it, Now, if there's some woman my age, 150, 200 pounds overweight, and she's sending me that kiss sign, those little not avatars, those little emojis, that's believable. I'm also not interested. So you can't have it both ways. So bottom line is, my YouTube channel hasn't changed me one bit. I know what's out there and what's legit and what's not. And that's why I keep uploading the same things. I rarely meet people or get together because I know, I'm suspicious of people being too friendly. It's not reality. I mean, you got to screw loose if you'd like to meet me for dinner because I got a lot of views. You know what I mean? I mean, it's just not really, what's weird is I'll meet guys sometimes and they say, oh, these girls contacting you. Let me tell you guys, man, I wish it was that true. I wish the world's most beautiful women would be camped out in front of my hotel door waiting to meet me. But it's not like that. It's not reality. I mean, any young, attractive, good-looking woman that wanted to meet me that did some weird shit like that, I'd probably call 911. So, I mean, it's fun to joke about it. I'd rather have people like me than not like me. But the real truth of this is I'm an old guy that has no business with young, attractive women. I never try to pursue it. What you see is what you get. There's nothing off camera that's going on with anybody. So, it's fun, but it's not reality. Yeah, I'll do that. I mean, there's some people, I'm not really big on people riding around with me, mainly because you probably get to know what I'm really like. And secondly, because it changes things. Sometimes people say, hey, I'd like to get together for lunch. Sure, get together for lunch. And then you're confirming it the day you're going to have lunch. And they'll say, hey, do you mind if I bring along Johnny or Janie? Or I say, you know what, I do. Because it changes the dynamics of the get-together. I don't want to get to know Janie or Johnny during our lunch. I want to talk with you. I haven't seen you in a while. We're going to talk about personal things, and it's either we ignore Janie or Johnny, or you don't bring them to begin with. So I probably sound like a big dick when somebody wants to bring someone along, but it's because I want the lunch to be fun. I want to interact. I want to know how you're doing. We're going to talk about personal things. I don't want to get to know a new person. Now, maybe down the road, but not for this lunch. So, I mean, it's, YouTube has been absolutely great for me, man. I say this all the time. I mean, I do repeat myself. I think there's two reasons for that. One is I'm old, and I forgot that I said it the first time. The second reason is there's new people that come on and they haven't heard it yet. But like I've said all along, and this is true, if it wasn't for YouTube, I wouldn't have any friends. Maybe one. I wouldn't have any social life. I like this internet virtual social life. Getting on here. Now, if I got up this morning and they said, hey, there's going to be 50 people that that they're having a picnic out here at this Willow Park, I wouldn't go. So this fits my personality just right. And the truth of the matter is like if my phone overheats or I run out of battery, it's good. It doesn't seem like it'd be good, and sometimes it sucks with the timing. But if I was on here every day, all day, every day, we would get sick of each other. So really, the capabilities of the phone do us all a favor. It keeps it fresh. You know, it keeps it like new. The damn phone quits. It forces me to shut the hell up. I'm 64, and I look every day of it. Yeah, 64. So, I mean, it's funny how things in this internet world can get morphed into looking like there's something they're not. Yeah, it's a really nice view. But I think this damn Belleville is shutting this dam off so they can keep their water levels high for boating now. I don't know this for sure, but that would be the only dam north of here that would create this, because it was where it should have been yesterday and the day before that low again. So someone's dicking around with the water levels, which I think is horseshit. Oh, thank you, Tom. I mean, Tom, I know you get it just by the comments you make. Excuse me. You know, there are subtleties, and I'll give you an example. It just kind of popped into my mind because I can tell you pick up on subtleties, Tom. And if I observe things sometimes that I just think are sweet or poignant or unusual, I like to reward people for it if I can. I don't look like I have any money, and I don't have tons, but I'm doing pretty good, to be honest with you. That's why I tell people, don't send me any money for anything. I'm fine. But like I went to this Romulus house the other day. Here's a waitress busting her ass. Super nice. Super nice. What's wrong, hon? And they've got... You good girl, honey. You good girl. She's getting bored. She's really nice, and they're blocking off every other table, and you know, she was just so positive, even though I'm sure her income's been cut in half. So I've been leaving $20 tips, even if I just get toast and 2 eggs. It's no big deal. It's not like I'm some big shot. And like I was in another place, at that Greek place down in Ecorse. Starts with an A. They sell Greek food. There's a lady that I see in there once in a while, and just so positive and nice. And I just, as I'm sitting there getting lunch, I'm realizing that these waitresses are busting their ass, and everybody's getting a to-go order. And I'm just sitting there thinking to myself, this is bullshit, because nobody, I shouldn't say nobody, but most people don't want to tip. You know, you're getting a to-go order. There's a lot of cheap bastards out there. That's why they'll get their stuff to go, so they don't have to tip. And I'm just thinking, this sucks. And this lady's just being so nice and telling people to have a great day. And I'm thinking, she just did this shit, got this to-go order, and she didn't get a dime. I was in Leon's about 3 weeks ago, that place where I get breakfast down from the hotel. You know, it's slow that day, and here these 2 old bitches come in. And this waitress comes over and gives them water. And she said, hey, how are you ladies? They don't even say hello. They say, we'd like Jane, or whatever the hell. We'd like Jane. Just super rude. Like, here this lady's being nice. It's slow. She said, well, let me get Jane. I thought, you know, that's fucking bullshit. I gave her $20 too. She said, what's this for? I said, well, I saw those 2 rude old bitches ask for Jane. I think it's rude. She said, well, thank you very much. So big deal, man. I don't have any expensive hobbies. So it's not like I'm cutting into my savings. But since this COVID shit's got going, I've been trying to help these, you know, give them a little, like, good feeling. $20 isn't going to change their life. But I hope they realize that someone appreciates they're getting bent over. Yep, Raven got hit by a card. Yep. Let me tell you, 8 Mile sucks. You know, because of that movie and 8 Mile and all this bullshit, there's nothing on 8 Mile. The traffic's too fast. You can't hardly pull over. 8 Mile isn't what you think it would be. I've done videos on 8 Mile before, and the reason I don't go up there is because it sucks. It really does. I mean, there's nothing going on there. Yeah, all the businesses are way off the road. It's not interesting like you think it would be. But ever since that M&M bullshit, they think 8 Mile, 8 Mile, No, 8 Mile sucks. Hey, Greta, weather sucks. Gonna be 92 again today. You ready to head out of here, hon? You ready to hit the road? You ready to get out of here? Daisy wants to get out of here. Let's go. Let's go. Come on. You want to go bye-bye or stay here? You want to go bye-bye or stay here? All right. Let's go bye-byes. Let's go bye-byes. All right. I do dip her in when it's real hot, but it's not real hot yet, and I'm going to drop her off. Let's go bye-byes. Oh, thank you, Grant. I bring this up all the time, too, is these beautiful trees out here. Full canopy trees, nobody's trimming them. Just look like perfect trees. It's really nice out here in the fall. All sorts of oaks, maple. Love these trees. The tent's kind of like, I found a place for Becky to live. If it seems like I'm not all in on the tents, because I'm not. It's a shitty area. The first tent got destroyed. There wouldn't be a worse feeling in the world of seeing a new tent get destroyed. I'm just not all that enthused about it. I know what happened to the first one. And now that I found a place for her to live, there's really no reason for a tent. Oh, Tom, yeah. You're right, Kat. Yeah, I'm going to see some girls today, yep. I'm going to take my Daisy back to the hotel room, drop her off. You should video him, Tom. Yeah, well, I would help her, but I do help him if I can, but actually Sharon brought it up to me. She did the work on it, so it really wasn't me. Yeah, Becky doesn't know about it yet. If I say, Becky expects everything going to be done right away, and I didn't feel too hot for the first few days here, so I'm a little behind. I think Becky will stay where she's at down there, yeah. I'm uploading that video right now of her friend, Gary, the perfume guy, and hopefully when I get back it'll be ready I got a super slow internet connection, and that's 4K video, which is like the worst scenario possible, but I think you'll get to see that guy's place. Really cool guy. I think she'll stay in Detroit. Yeah, I'm feeling pretty good now, yeah. I felt bad for like the first 3 days, which kind of killed me. Tomorrow I'll be here a week. The truth of the matter is that get-together with Marguerite and her daughter Lindsay, if I got nothing else, that made my trip. So everything else is a bonus. Usually I would have like more interviews and more photos and that kind of thing. So I'm really kind of like not to where I'd like to be going home, which is why I'm not going home. I may stay here another whole week. Oh, thanks, Mary. Yeah, most people don't like pictures of airplanes. Believe me, I got plenty more. I love photographing airplanes. It's crazy, but most people aren't into it. That's why I try and tell people, if you're not into planes, don't click on there. I'm not trying to get people to click on videos as a trick or anything. So if they see that and they don't like planes, hopefully they don't click on it. Yeah, that'd be cool. I do think Gary is a trustworthy guy. We'll find out. He's at the risk of coming across as a profiler, I'm going to do it anyway. There goes a purple martin. Gary's an educated Jewish guy, and you can tell that by talking to him. He's got a lot of etiquette. He's well-spoken. I think he's just kind of taken Becky under his wing, and he used to own some pharmacies, and he's an eccentric guy, but a cool guy. So I think Becky's lucky to have a relationship with him. Oh, that's cool, Mary. Yeah, tell me that other channel. I go on there and look. Yeah, RC planes are cool. Yeah, I'll keep you updated on Becky. Sure will. But honestly, it's like I'm behind in what I'm doing here, and you'll say, well, why don't you get your ass out there and do some interviews instead of taking your dog to the park? Well, there's an element of truth to that, but since I'm on a timeline, the worst thing that'll happen is I'll stay more days. It's not going to keep me from getting anything done. I don't have any, like, schedule. You know? Mary, are you on the road again? And did you get to look through your camera stuff yet? Man, I could sit here all day. This is perfect. See, I like this green stuff. I don't like that southwest, deserty looking, rocky bullshit. Bunch of rattlesnakes crawling around. I like green, lush green, blue clouds, water. I like the West, Montana, the Dakotas, the Midwest. I don't like that New Mexico, Arizona, California, Las Vegas, rocks. Forget it. Oh, good, Mary. Coco, actually, the father of Coco's child called me yesterday. Hell of a nice guy. Coco somehow got into rehab, is off drugs, and living with her mother in a suburb. You're right, Greta. Yep. So good for Coco. I'd love to talk to her. Oh, good. You like that, Kent? Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I like planes. I got a bunch more. Don't worry. I try to set up, when the planes are landing to the southwest, I try to set up between 7 and 9 p.m. Now, the days are getting shorter, but I got way better photos. And the reason it's so good is because I get the planes on approach while that sun is reflecting off the fuselage. It's beautiful. Particularly Spirit Airlines and Southwest. Those airplanes look like flying oil paintings when the sun's hitting them on a nice summer evening. I love the looks of it. After all these years of doing the same thing over and over, I do think I'm obsessive compulsive. I actually get goosebumps taking photos of planes. Last night I was up there on the parking deck. I get like goosebumps. It's so beautiful, and I'm there by myself, and planes are taxiing. And like last night, this is going to sound like weird, but you know, I got a pretty good lens on my camera, and I actually got good shots of the inside of the cockpit while the airplanes are taxiing, and you can see that pilots are wearing face masks as they're flying. It's kind of interesting. I mean, why they're flying, taxiing around and stuff. You can see right in there. You can see the stripes on the captains, 4, 3 on the first officer. It's really cool. I mean, I love doing these videos, you know, but honestly, in this day and age, with all this crazy shit and these nutty people around, I love taking those photos. It's interesting to me. I take photos of like the ground handlers, the baggage, and that kind of shit. It's honestly, in this day and age, in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, are these photos too good? I mean, not because I'm taking them, but am I showing like the day-to-day activities in too close of a distance? I mean, is this like not good? I mean, anybody can go there and park in that lot and see that, but in the back of my mind, I've always got a little bit of reservation. I mean, if the airport police called me and said, hey, look, you know, we know you got a YouTube channel, but you know, you're taking some pretty close photos of the day-to-day operations of these planes, and we wish you'd quit doing it, I'd quit doing it. I don't want any part of like any like bad stuff or people worrying about this, you know. I know it's one thing to be legal, it's another thing is it a good idea. Now, I don't think there's any problem, but if they ever brought it up to me, it's like, hey, we don't mind you taking pictures of airplanes in the air, but you know, you can see this guy's name tag while he's taking off baggage, and we just don't feel comfortable with it. If Homeland Security called me or the airport police called me and said, hey, there's nothing illegal with it, we just wish you wouldn't do it, I'd quit doing it. I would. I don't want to, like, make people worry about this crazy shit. 10 pre 9/11, it would have never dawned on me, but I don't want people to, like, think this way. Yeah. I mean, the planes landing, no problem. But I'm telling you, I'm the guy taking the photos, and when I'm looking through a 750 millimeter lens, and I can read the pilot's name tag as he's taxiing the plane, I gotta think, is this cool? I mean, you could do it too. And if you don't have a camera and you're just observing it, it's the same thing. But God, in this day and age, I'm thinking, I don't want people feeling uncomfortable. Yeah, the Great Lakes ship, Great Lakes shipping is way, way, way down. There were way more freighters 100 years ago than there are now. They laid off this year, actually. This COVID bullshit has just idled a lot of stuff. I don't think they think I'm up to no good because, I'm paying, I'm in a parking lot. I'm paying to be there. I mean, that'd be just like thinking everybody else that pulled in there that happened to look over the wall at an airplane's doing the same thing I'm doing. I don't think they would think that. And I think people that were going to do no good, I don't think they'd be that obvious. But I don't want one person getting nervous because of my photographs, even though it's legal. You know what I mean? I just don't want to be that way. It is public property, that's true, but I don't want to be one of these assholes that you see on YouTube, like when some cop's doing his job, or a border patrol agent's doing his job, and I've got my rights to drive down this road and I'm an American. I do not want to be one of these assholes. These cops have a tough job now. They're always on pins and needles. You got this COVID bullshit. Everybody's laid off. There's no activity. You don't know what your future holds. I do not want to be that asshole with a camera. If that makes you nervous, or you know what I mean? It's legal. It's in a public domain. There's no expectation of privacy. I can tell you all the laws, but I don't want to be like making anybody feel any more stressed out than they already are. Now, the plane's numbers, that's all public information. You can go on FlightAware, you can look it up yourself. It's all public data. I don't think the tail numbers or the flight numbers really have anything to do with it. You can get that 24/7 sitting in your home. So, I mean, I don't think there's anything wrong with it. Like I said, I just don't want anybody to feel bad or feel stressed, even though what I'm doing is totally legal. I don't. Yeah, the name tags actually only happen one time, and I would not upload that, to be honest with you. But you can see inside the cockpit, and the guy's got masks on and stuff. I got plenty of those. It's just a different time. There used to be, tons of people watching planes take off and land, and the government is pretty much shut down most of those. No parking, standing, stopping. I've got that big field that I go to, and if I'm paying to park and I'm taking photos instead of parking, I mean, does it really matter? No, but I don't want to be a part of anybody's stress. I've had pilots contact me through YouTube. It's like, hey, that photo you took of that 757 on approach? That was me. I was the captain. I was the first officer. I was a flight attendant. Could I buy a photo of you? It's like, oh man, no way. I'll send it to you. I have that happen probably 10 times a year. People will see themselves in a vehicle or a freighter or something like that. I had a guy from a freighter, the Paul Tricerca. I had video, and I made him a copy of the video. And like with Marguerite, with Casey and Jenna, I give them copies of the photos I take on an SD card. With Marguerite's daughter, I'm going to give her the whole interview on an SD card, plus the photos I took. It's no problem, man. I'm glad to be able to do it. Like I said, I could be a quadriplegic and not able to go anywhere. So I'm very lucky to be able to do this. And the last thing on my mind would be to charge somebody. No way. And my income is going up on YouTube. So I'm actually at the point where my expenses are getting covered, which to me is a fantasy land. If you'd have told me 10 years ago you were going to buy me a tank of gas, I would have been thrilled. So the idea to be able to do this and it not cost me money is like unbelievable. Yeah. It does. I've got all the lenses for my camera, from the shortest to the longest. Yeah, I use a 500 millimeter VR lens, Nikon. I have all Nikon equipment with a 1.4 teleconverter. So, you know, when you're 20 yards away from me in an airplane, that gets pretty damn close. It's the same lens and camera that I use for bird photography. Most people don't understand that. You know, when you get into photography, you learn about light and optics and all that bullshit. Even with my equipment, you got to get pretty damn close to a bird, or you need to crop the image, which I don't like doing. But when you got a big ass airplane, it's like, wow, this is unbelievable. But as I said, like last night, I'm looking through this thing, firing off these shots of these planes taking off in the evening, and when they're taxiing, I'm thinking, my God, this is like almost too close. Is this like being too nosy? I can tell you this, there have been 3 times in my life where I've taken like scenic shots. 2 of them were couples walking on a beach, believe it or not. And another was of a couple during a blizzard in Chicago. And they later found out that I had taken these photos and asked me if they could have a copy, which I get them. And in those 3 occasions, the blizzard and the 2 couples walking on the beach, one of them died. 2 of them were car accidents and one was a heart attack. And they said those were the only pictures they had of them while they were alive. Isn't that crazy? Yeah, glad to send it to you, no problem. I had a police question me a couple months ago. I had a cop come up to me the other day, you know, they wanted to know what I was doing there, and he said, hey, I said, I'm taking pictures of these photos of these airplanes. I said, you want to see a couple of them? He said, sure. You know, if you're into photography, you kind of get desensitized to good images. I think I'm a below average photographer. I really do. I could do a lot better, but I'm too lazy. But when you have good equipment, you take good photos. And I showed this cop these photos. He said, wow, man, that's unbelievable. He said, do you sell these? It's like, no, you want one? I gave my email. I said, well, you go on my YouTube channel. You see an image you like. Same with you guys. You guys, there's something that you like or it interests you, or no problem. Hey, Sharon. Hear these birds talking to each other? Those are purple martins. There's a bunch of them here today. Look at like Daisy's got. This is a great place. I said this before, you know, where I sit and watch those planes land. It is actually an excellent place for bird watching, believe it or not, near an airport. Yeah, don't the birds sound great? Can you hear these birds singing, Rita? You got, you know, Rita, you live in a fantastic state for bird watching. There's a lot of the birds that you'll see down there. The piping plover is an example of which they were actually down to about 40 pair at one time. They hang out where you're at in the winter, and then they come up and breed on the eastern shore of Lake, or the western shore of Lake Huron. Piping plover. I encourage everybody. You would not. Your day will open up so much more. You will enjoy everywhere you go so much more if you have a good camera. You know, when I run into a non-bird watcher, and I'll show them some of the photos I've taken, and it's not because I took them. Anybody can do it. Every photo I take is on automatic mode. It's a great camera. And when they see these pictures of these birds, I've had people go out and buy the same equipment I have because it just opens up such a world of like beauty. When you're a non-bird watcher and you come down where I'm at now, you'll go home and you'll tell your wife or your boyfriend, hey, there were little birds flying all over. When you get into bird watching and you have some good equipment, you start realizing the difference of all these birds. And when you start paying attention to them in the trees, it's not just little birds. It's like lots of different kinds of birds that travel huge distances that are maybe rare, like where I live, the Kirkland warbler. And so it looks like I'm just standing out here in a park where there are birds flying around. Well, it's much bigger than that. Like, I got so lucky my first day in Detroit, I'm taking photos of planes landing, and for the first time in my life, got about 20 fantastic shots of an osprey flying. I've been trying to get a picture of an osprey for 40 years. And here I am watching planes land, and there's one flying around where there really isn't much water. I don't get it. He must have been lost. But, you know, I always have my cameras because you never know what kind of bird I might see. Yeah, I'm going to do some interviews. I'm going to do some interviews. I hope to do. I am going to hook up with Miranda today. Sharon in Traverse City sent her some money. I talked to her last night on the phone. I'm going to hook up with Tassie. Yeah, well, this is my take. I haven't been photographing birds seriously for that long because I didn't have this great camera equipment until like February. I had good camera equipment, but not great. And, you know, normally you're too far away and birds are skittish. So, yeah, I remember when I see a bird, but I found, at least in my short, serious bird photographing life, it basically boils down to luck. You'll be sitting there and wondering how your day is going to unfold, and here'll be this kick-ass birdland. I'm always ready to take a photo. And that's how I got the osprey. But if you go out and you say, I'm going to go and I'm going to try and photograph the Kirtland warbler, it's Kirtland. It just got taken off the endangered species list. You may be out there the rest of your life and never get a good shot of a Kirtland warbler. At least in my serious mode of photographing birds, it's shit luck. Either you're going to get lucky or not. And, you know, you got to get a bird sitting on like a bare branch. They're sitting in one of these trees that have heavy leaves. You're not going to be able to see good enough, or the autofocus isn't going to catch them, or you're only going to get half the bird. So there's a lot of stuff that goes in to a good photograph of a bird, and it's mostly shit luck. I mean, I've got some great photos of birds at my bird feeder, but I don't want to say it's cheating, but the real good birds, the real ass kicker, beauty, rare birds, they're not coming to a bird feeder. So you got to be out in their environment, and the bird's not paying attention. Before you know it, he's tired and lands 25 feet away. That's where you get lucky on the shot. Hey, Terry. Hi, Pam. I got some good. I'll upload these bird photographs I got. I mean, I've got a couple birds on this trip that I don't even know what kind of birds they are. I thought those were good photos I got of that flicker a couple weeks ago. Oh, wow. Yeah, seagulls are interesting birds. I got quite a few books on seagulls only. I love seagulls. They're beautiful. You get a lot of herring, gulls, ring-billed gulls up where you're at, glaucous gulls. You get those big ones. Up near Northport, a lot of those hang out. I got some great shots of a tern early this year during a full breeding mode, bright orange bill. That's another thing, you know, the males are the ones with the outstanding color usually. The Kirkland warbler is an example. If you don't get a Kirkland warbler during breeding season, it just looks like a regular old little plain Jane bird. But when birds get into their full breeding colors, that's the difference in night and day. Yeah, Terry, I mean, I would say this. You know, there's certain things that you'll buy in your life sometimes that just you really can't afford, you know, like boats, motorcycles, but you want to experience this, you know? And if you look at the all you'll get out of photographs, and like somebody like you that likes to do animals and video, I bought all my equipment used, but I take a long time to do it. It took me about 7 months to get what I thought was low used, top notch equipment. And when you know, you look at the feedback, you look at other things they've sold, you could still get screwed. But all my Nikon equipment, other than my 500 millimeter lens, and the only reason I bought that brand new is because the used, they had a rebate. And actually, the used ones were selling for about the same amount as the new one, so I just bought a new one. But all my Nikon, look for a Nikon D850. And you could get by with one lens at the start, because you're not doing portrait photography, you're not trying to get a bird from 500 yards away. But a Nikon D850 would be worth every single dime. It really would. Yeah, turkeys are beautiful. Wild turkeys are super intelligent birds. You know, you'll hear people make flippant comments that turkeys are stupid, they'll drown themselves. That's true. But those are domestic turkeys. Wild turkeys are smarter than hell. And I've got some video up there of turkey. They call it the turkey trot, and it's so damn cute. And you can understand why they call it. But not only are they beautiful birds, they're super intelligent. Yeah, let me tell you, here's the deal, and don't buy into the megapixel deal. That's what's used to get people to buy stuff. Basically, good images in video and still photography are because of the sensor size. That's why cell phones, they look good on a cell phone, but the minute you blow that image up on a computer screen, it starts to fall apart. It's the sensor size you're looking for, not necessarily the megapixel. Actually, one of the best low light cameras out there now made by Sony is only 12 megapixel. And you'd think, well, how can that be 12 megapixel? Well, because the sensor's big. It's very good in low light conditions. You know, photography manufacturers have figured out how to market to the public. And I'll tell you another thing too. Combo units, something always suffers. Where you can take still photos and you can do video first. I'm a 100% fan for one or the other. You get a dedicated video camera for video only, and you get a dedicated camera for still shots only. Once you get into the combo, both areas are going to suffer some way. Yeah, actually, Mary bought all that stuff from me, Jules. Mary bought all that stuff, which was a really good deal, but you know, I'm biased. You know, if anybody's serious at getting like a good camera equipment, let me know what you're thinking of getting and I'll look at it for you, or I'll try and find it for you on eBay. But I bought like a lot of good deals on eBay. Here's another thing. When you're trying to get good equipment, there's nothing wrong with paying fair market value. If you think you're going to go out and get all this great shit for half of what it's worth, you can forget it. People are very aware of what Nikon stuff goes for. It holds its value, and you get what you pay for. So you're not going to find this fantastic stuff for half price. It's never going to happen. I don't mind paying for what something's worth. I just don't want to overpay if I can help it. And believe me, there's times when I've overpaid. If I'm getting ready to head out to Montana and I'm missing a lens and I know I'm going to be in a place where I need that kind of lens, I'm going to bend over. It happens. Everything in life isn't a deal and a once-in-a-lifetime purchase, and, you know, it's just the way it is. It's great to get deals, but you better be patient. Yeah, running out of storage. Well, you will really run out of storage. Actually, I filled up an entire 128 gigabyte card just on Marguerite and her daughter. Went through the whole damn card. And the reason for that is because I'm shooting in 4K. Yeah, it happens, Nicole. I mean, you know, everything in life isn't a deal. I mean, it's just the way it works. But I found as I've gotten older, I've gotten more patient. I sat around for 5 months before I got that Nikon D850. There are shutter clicks that shows you how much cameras are used now. And that Nikon I got an idea. I probably bought my stuff off a guy that's obsessive compulsive. They like the idea of good photographs, but they don't want to take the time to learn how to use it. That camera I have only had 19 photos taken on it. Only 19 photos. Mary, if you're still on there, your camera has 29,000 clicks, which seems like a lot. It's not. You don't even need to get them cleaned until 100,000 clicks. And I use that camera since I bought it all the time. So that camera will be obsolete before you ever get to any point where you've got to worry about wearing it out. Hey, Donna. Hey, Johnner. Hey, Mark. Yeah, bending over is a part of life. Yeah, that's how they're marketing the Note phones, is a lot of storage. Why don't you just download that stuff in a file on a laptop or a desktop? Hey, Kathy. Hey, Dad girl. See, if you'd have told me a couple hours ago that Daisy could be in the shade and not be too hot, I'd be surprised. Yeah, you'll get better at it. Just watch YouTube videos on how to do stuff. Believe me, I absolutely hate everything about camera editing, video editing programs. It's like pulling teeth. It doesn't interest me. You know, I do limited editing, usually to mute something or add music or splice two things together. I just absolutely hate it. Oh, thank you, Pam. Yeah, you get what you pay for. That's true. Yep. It's the old adage, if it seems too good to be true, it probably is. That's no shit. That's why if some 22-year-old beautiful girl wants me to come out and spend the weekend based on me having a bunch of subscribers and YouTube videos, it ain't happening, man. I don't want to get chopped up into little pieces. That's not normal. Have a good day, Pam. See you, Terry. Get out of here, Nick, you dumbass. Nick, I'm sorry for any technical difficulties you're having. Please try again later. Please try again later. Nick, what happened? You dumbass. Nick, are you there? You big dumbass. Yeah. Who are you talking to, Nick? Hey, Chris. Yeah, photography is good, man. I mean, it's a lot of fun. I don't really consider it an art form. I'm sure there are people, you know, I look at some photography and it's like, wow, that is really killer. But I think, you know, I can't draw for shit. I wish I could. I can't paint for shit. I'd like to be able to do that too. And I don't think looking through a hole and pushing a button is any art. People that don't do it think you got some great eye or some shit like that. I don't think so. I think anybody can be a photographer. Good cameras take good photos. I mean, what are the chances of me not being worth a shit at playing a guitar, not being able to draw, not being able to paint? but yet being a great photographer is zero. It's people that don't know photography that think I'm a good photographer. I mean, I do what I can, but I wouldn't say I have any knack for it. You have a Nikon D850 like I do and the lenses I have, your stuff would probably look better than mine. I think I'm below average, to be honest with you. But I'm going to go with it. No, I said, I don't think I asked you a question, Pam. I said, party on. Hey, Lavelle, you dodging any of those tornadoes out there? Yeah, the invisible people, I don't have anything against that guy. I mean, you know, there's a lot of people that are always trying to start trouble between me and other channels. Invisible people and all. I don't care what those guys do. I mean, you know, I don't watch their videos because it's time consuming to have a channel that gets, you know, views, because I'm always answering questions, uploading my own stuff. I don't hardly watch videos at all. I did watch some kickboxing videos last night and some boxing videos, but I don't watch other channels like I used to. I don't have anything against these guys. I mean, good for them, man. Just go do your thing. I think there are people that get people to come on and, you know, promote their channel on mine, and I'll delete those comments. I mean, if you're running a Ford ad, you don't want to see something about a Chevy come up in the middle of it. I just think it's rude. If someone gets a hold of me and says, hey, do you mind if I promote my channel? No, I'm all for it. Anybody that wants to promote their channel on mine is absolutely fine. But when you're just going on there and in your twisted mind are trying to promote a competitor in a way on my channel, it's not happening. It's not happening. And I get a lot of emails, you know, associated with the channel in general, and there's just some people on there that regular subscribers and viewers don't like. And if I get enough of those, I block people. I want it to be a good experience for you. I don't want you to go on there and think, oh my God, this asshole's on here again. So I block them. You know? I probably got 30 emails that people were not going to interact in the channel anymore. Frank Nitti. Frank Nitti was allowed to post, so Frank got blocked last night. Now I'm down to 5% now. I don't even know if you can hear me anymore, and the screen just went dark, but I can see it's like in the background. So I'm gonna sign off here, you guys. This phone's about ready to quit. So you guys have a good day. It's hotter than a bitch. And I'll be checking in with you later. Have a good day. See you, Pam. Come out there and visit you. Party all night.